Welcome to Five Lemons Laughing. I'm Amanda. I'm here with Penny and Melissa, and we're joined by a dear friend and intuitive guide, Lorri. She blends tarot, A Course in Miracle, and a spiritual insight to help others with their truth. T with a capital T, truth. She's here to offer a collective reading for the new year, something to ground us and inspire us and help us align with what really matters.
Mm. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Oh, and also, Morgan is one of our Lemonettes. She's not here with us today. She's with family, so we're sending her lots of love too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love you, Morgan.
Happy holidays, Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that, Amanda, and welcome, Lorri. So glad to have you today. So this isn't about predicting the future. This is about tuning in to your reality. So Tarot is a mirror, and today we're using it to reflect on what we're releasing and what we're stepping into 2026 and trying to do it with more intention. So we invite you to listen with an open heart and take what resonates with you and, just leave the rest on the table. So one thing that came up during our discussion about this topic was the thought that some might see the tarot reading or tarot cards in A Course in Miracles as coming from different spiritual lineages. So before we dive too far into it, we kind of want to talk a little bit about how we can personally weave those together and understand how they can help us to stay anchored in love and clarity. So with that being said, I think we want to maybe have Lorri talk to us about, since she's been studying the course for a long time, and she's going to be, doing some tarot reading today, for her to talk with us about how she bridged those two together.
Yeah, sure. So one of my beliefs is that we're creating stories in our life. We're living the story of our life. I believe tarot is a tool that helps understand where in our story we've become stuck and where we can optimize our stories, what lessons we have to learn, different reflections we can have by what the cards are offering. And so that's how I view tarot. And that's how I've always viewed tarot. With A Course in Miracles, A Course in Miracles talks about how the story of our lives, our perception, our stories can either be grounded in fear or love, and to focus on the love. So I use tarot as a tool to find out what fears there are so that people can ground back into love to live their life story. So that's how I bring the tarot and what I do together with A Course in Miracles, because I believe that I am tuning into a field of unconditional love, or the higher Holy Spirit self, the person's higher Holy Spirit self, as I'm communicating to them. And that's what I use the cards to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I think the connection, you've made it very clear what that connection is and how it can be utilized. I love it that you said it's a tool to optimize our story. That was really, that's very helpful.
Well, I had to think about it. This is something that I had to weave together for myself to be able to move forward with it. Because when I first started with A Course in Miracles, it, talks about how, and I've seen how other people can use the tarot to plant seeds that create fear. Mm-hmm. And as a reader, I've had people come to me and say, I was told my son was going to get in a huge car accident. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, well, okay, that's not what this tool is supposed to be used for. The tool is supposed to be used for how to optimize it. Like, I would rather say to a person, um, the cards are showing that it's important to have your 50,000 mile checkup for your car, rather than like, that's a loving, proactive thing to do, not planting a seed of fear. So I've always said to Spirit, show me how to plant seeds of love, not fear with the cards, because I saw that they could do both. So I got really clear on that when I started reading the course.
Because that directly speaks to how to use the tarot for a tool for healing and growth, right? That's a big way to look at it. Because like our stories, we talk a lot about that on this podcast, is what story are you telling? How are you, like, what are you projecting into the world? And being able to look at it a little bit differently. So how else, or how do you dive deeper into the tool of tarot and healing and growth?
Me personally, or how do I help people dive into it?
Either way, however you want to answer that. Because I think it would be the same, right? It would be the same.
Yeah. Well, the tarot is divided into the major arcana and the minor arcana. So the major arcana is 22 cards. It starts with the Fool and it ends with the World. And what's really cool, if you just work with the major arcana, is that it's the cycle. It's a complete cycle of what you go through when you're doing a project, whether you're living your year, whatever that is. And each card is a karmic lesson that comes up along the way. And you can use it like that. And there's a spread that I teach people that want to learn how to read cards, where they use all of the major arcana. They think of a project or something that they are going to work on. They lay out all the cards and flip them over, and any of them that are reversed, any of the major arcana that are reversed, there's a question about that lesson that they're learning in that project. So it's a kind of fun way to use them, because it's called the Fool's Journey. So you go through all of the things, all of the stages. And that's a whole nother talk. And then there's the minor arcana, which are based on the playing card deck. So there's cups, wands, swords, and pentacles. And cups are the hearts. Wands are the clubs. So each one stands for each one. And the major arcana is how fate and your karmic lessons come into play. The minor arcana are the action steps, like we can take. These are the little things we can do along the way. So when the major, it's like, hey, pay attention to this, take a look at this. Minor, here's what you can do. And each of the minor arcana, like the cups, they're representative of elements, astrology, and different meanings for each one. So it's fun to do this journey because you learn so much. The way that I teach, though, is let the card tell you a story. So if you were to look, for example, at a card, say this one. So, I have people say, what's the first thing that you notice? What kind of story is this card telling you? And it's not about being intellectual about it. It's just about where were your eyes drawn? So first thing when I landed on that card was I saw this little thing up here that this woman in yellow is doing, and it reminded me of a question mark. Now, for some reason, if that stuck out to me, I'd just go with that when I was giving the reading. Like, there's a question on whether or not you're celebrating or enjoying connection between you and the women that you're friends with. Like, How can you feel more connected? So that's how I would weave the story, depending on where my eyes landed. And so learning how to use them for yourself, it's not about memorizing the definitions. It's about letting the card speak to you, just breathing into it and saying, okay, higher Holy Spirit self. Okay, source. What kind of feeling am I getting from this card? What would you like me to be aware of when I look at this card? Yes, you can use the book for definitions, but a lot of it is just trusting that part of you that connects with the story in the card.
That's beautiful.
That really taps into learning how to trust your intuition. Like there's so many different levels to living a daily life. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Lorri has done readings for me, and I bought readings from her for some of my loved ones. And for me, Lorri, you didn't really tell me anything I didn't know. It was more of a not that you were like, okay, this is going to happen in this month, but you brought me to a deeper understanding of things that I knew were already happening in my life. So, for example, many years ago, you told me some things about my son, and it helped me meet him in a place where I had a deeper understanding of what he was going through. And it was so spot on. And it was something I already knew he was going through, but I got into a place where I knew more from my own insight. So that's the kind of that's what I feel like I get from you, like a deeper understanding of what I already kind of know.
Melissa, did that help you not to fear what was happening, having some type of knowledge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also think that, we talk about oneness and kind of the field out there and that we're all connected to the higher Holy Spirit or we're one. And I think, Lorri, you bring some of that down into this world so we can better guide ourselves or understand things or understand other people.
Yeah, that's the intention. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all I was sharing with you was what your higher Holy Spirit self was actually communicating to you, but for whatever reason, it was being blocked. And hearing it from me, it was just what was already inside of you. And it was that seed that was planted that helped it grow into a flower that you watered.
Yes. Beautiful.
Wow.
That's it.
That's beautiful. That really made it really clear how you described it at first, Lorri. This example just brought it home, like 100%. Yeah, I like it. It was the Melissa talking about the oneness, and that basically you're walking in the role of mediator, or I don't know, what do you want to call it?
Communicator.
Yes, right, of the energy that's being given off by the person that you're reading. I love it. It's beautiful.
So Lorri, Melissa gave an example of just focusing on like one part of a story. How do you shift that? Like, we're going to ask you to do a reading like for 2026 this year, like a humanity global type of reading. How do you tap into that?
It's interesting. Lately, I've been playing around with, or I was shown the numbers. So 2026, obviously, if you add up the numerology, it's a 10, which goes into a 1 if you add them together numerologically. The other day, what was interesting to me is in meditation, I got this nudge. It was like, okay, but do you see the major arcana cards that are associated with this? And I was like, what? And so the major arcana cards that are associated with 2026 are it was the 1 and the 0. I didn't just take the 1. I was like, okay, look at both. And the 1 and the 0 in the major arcana are the Fool card and the Magician card. So what that was saying to me was, this really is a year of stepping into our potential by what we already naturally know how to do, what we're already skilled at, and really taking that leap of faith and trusting that. And then where the 10 came in my mind, I was shown, and you bring it to completion, because 10 is the number of completion in the tarot deck, in the minor arcana. So the sense I got, we're leaving behind this 2025, which is a 9-year. And we're leaving behind, I'm going blank with what the 9 of the major arcana card is. So just give me a second. Because I pulled it out the other day. You're going to love this. So the 9 card for this past year was the Hermit. That's the major arcana card. So the Hermit talks about being reflective. Now, going into 2025, the major message around that in numerology was being of service, letting go of what no longer serves you, and figuring out how to do it. But what the Hermit's telling me is, as a collective, we are learning how not to isolate ourselves. We're learning the difference between being reflective and isolating ourselves. And we've seen that play out in the world globally. Like, how are people isolating themselves? How are they being reflective? And it's like there's been this whole shakeup. So going into this year, we can utilize now the Fool and the Magician. So globally, we can take that leap of faith. We can step into it with innocence, because the Fool is innocence too. And we can put our tools to use globally, because we already have them, and we can move forward with them. And so just from that standpoint, I was being shown how the cards play together by looking at the major arcana. So that's from one standpoint. Now I can pull cards because I've been thinking about what energies are going to be prominent in 2026 that we need to be aware of. Any collective patterns or spiritual themes that are coming up. I would like to start first, though, with what are some blockages we can be aware of that we can help shift as a collective. I'd like to start there, because that's what I'm feeling nudged to share. So I'm gonna start there, if that's okay.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
would love to know the blockages.
Yeah.
I mean,
Whether I
know
choose
them.
to do anything about them is
Yeah.
a whole other story.
Yeah.
But I want to know what they are.
It's like that moment of, I'm so grateful to know these blockages. Right? So it's interesting, because what it's showing me is there's it's both the card of defeat and success with emotional triggers. So the challenges that we have going into this year to be aware of is how we can use our emotional triggers to either defeat us or to succeed. And that is so on point with what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. So just to be aware on a global level of our own individual emotional triggers. And when they come up, Are they defeating us? Or how can we use them to fuel us to succeed? You know?
And before we move too much further, there's a lot of people who listen and don't watch. So what Lorri just did is we saw her pull four cards. I think you pulled four cards out, 3 cards, and laid them down. So, and that's what just happened. So she pulled them and then went through them. So for those that are listening and not watching.
And for those that are curious, it was the 5 of Swords, the 6 of Wands, and the Moon, and they were all upright.
Okay. So that's what you're saying are the obstacles or the things that are the triggers to help us in 2026.
The major blockage to be aware of in 2026 is how we're individually responding to our emotional triggers.
Thank you for saying.
It's going to get even more.
It's going to get more.
But it's also stepping into that realization of the fool and the magician. We can step into these triggers with innocence and knowing that we have all the tools that we need to either succeed or to be defeated. Yeah.
Yeah. We're all thinking about, like, it just personally, it took me to, oh my goodness, like it's going to be more of, it's just going to be real life happening more, stronger, more present. And then going back to tools of how to not be triggered by people.
Yeah.
My goal has always been to be unbotherable. So I really need to lean into that in 2026.
And it's Go ahead, Lorri.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, because we live in an interesting time where basically anything goes. You can be as crappy as you want to people and it's accepted.
Yeah.
It just seems. And like, that's what I'm perceiving. And so it's a constant reminder. Am I going to be continuing to be crappy too? How can I stay grounded in the light and in the love?
Good point.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because sometimes isn't it easy just to say, like to get upset about it and to want to join in. And yeah.
Even if we're on the right side? No, not the right side. But I mean, if we're on the, I didn't mean the right. I meant like, even if we think our thoughts are the correct thoughts. That's what I meant to say.
Both of those statements are funny.
Yeah, it's all fun. It is funny when you start really thinking about it.
Yeah.
So let me ask another question before I don't know if you'll pull more cards or not, but so coming out of I didn't even know that last year was a hermit type of year. I really feel that energy. Like I didn't want to go out. I felt myself withdrawing a lot more this year than I ever have. Even in COVID, this year I was a lot more sequestered, a lot less people around. Like I don't want to go out and do things. I've said no to so many different invitations to be out in the world. So does this 1 year mean that there will be more out in the world energy? So just not just me personally, but the energy will be out in the world more.
My sense is, as you were saying that, I just got a picture. I was just shown a picture and it just feels like we're going to notice more people coming together for the good. Like more people coming together for the good.
In the light.
Like, saying, I'm here. I got you. Yep. That's the sense I get.
Yeah.
That's comforting.
It is comforting.
It is.
So with our obstacles laid out pretty clearly, right? We're going to learn how to react. We choose how to react. These triggers are going to come out. We can support our fellow human beings or not. Is that
the triggers are it feels like they're going to ramp up. They're going to
Okay.
become more of an everyday thing. Like it's almost like if we can normalize the triggers and know, yeah, I'm going to be triggered. There's nothing wrong with me because I'm feeling triggered right now. How can I use this to lean more into the love?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said innocence, and that's
Yes.
very Course in Miracles for me. And um, I think we see the innocence in people, and that it helps us, to kind of come out of our trigger if we can keep that innocence and the love the first thing, rather than a reaction and a judgment.
Yeah.
Or catch the reaction and judgment faster and then see the innocence.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's next in the tarot process for the next year?
So I would like to, well, I'm gonna toss it out to you ladies. What would you like me to share about the collective in 2026? What would you be interested to know?
Everything.
That's everything. Like, yeah.
So we talked about the blocks. Sometimes I talk about the strengths. Sometimes I talk about the themes to be aware of. Sometimes I talk about the general spiritual qualities that can really be used to support
Themes. I think themes
Yeah,
is
I
great.
was
Me
thinking
too. I
themes
was
too.
thinking that too.
themes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do themes.
Yeah, because
Okay.
if this year is the year that we're stepping into our strengths, right? It would be good to have an insight to the themes, like to help us trigger, like that is a strength. This is how
Okay.
I can support.
So here are some themes to be aware of. Really, really knowing how to get that support behind you, like not picking apart the details, not like the thing I heard in my head is like literally the devil's in the details. So when we try to like when we're too hyper focused on something, so knowing how to get that support and how to offer that support, knowing how to that's what I just heard in my head. Knowing how to be the wind beneath someone else's wings. Knowing how, like, really, because that's going to get us lifted too. So that's one of the themes. Feeling completely grounded within ourselves, like within who we are, the truth of who we are, like coming home to ourselves. That's what I'm seeing as well. And the final thing is being honest with ourselves about what is no longer meeting our needs. If something's not meeting our needs, being honest with ourselves on why we're hanging on to it. So those are the three that are coming up.
So what do you mean by that in general? Are you talking about things, people, places?
All of the above. Like being aware of this no longer is my frequency. This is no longer resonating with me. This no longer, it's like, is it an old sweater that you've outworn? Like, is it feeling too tight? Is it just not supporting the path that you're on? And that could come across in many, many different ways. It could be a belief that you're holding on to. It could be a responsibility that you've put on yourself. I have to be responsible for this because blah, blah, blah. It could be a habit. It could be a job. It could be a method of self-sabotage, like a self-medication.
And you know what you're saying, Lorri? I think we all know what it is for ourselves, and we just have to take the action.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. For me, what has been happening, I haven't been able to sleep a lot lately. And last night I was awake until 5 a.m. because I just kept replaying stories of abandonment and not being loved in my head. Like, see, that proves that. And every time it came up, I said a prayer. Every time it came up, I said a prayer. I was like working with it all night long because I know that this is the energy we're in right now. And so for me, it would be, I know I no longer, I want to once and for all let go of that belief that I am the abandoned child, that whole archetype I am willing to let go of. So that's what it is for me when I'm seeing what's no longer meeting my needs, defaulting to that. What about you, ladies?
Well, when I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking like it takes me back to the first one, the support. Like it's sometimes the pattern is so ingrained that I would like to say it no longer supports me, so I'm not going to do it again. But I need support. I would like not to need support, but like knowing when to reach out to get help, letting go of whatever bad habits or all the bad habits that I have. And also supporting my friends and other people in letting those things go as well. And I forgot what the second one was already.
Feeling completely grounded within who we are.
Yeah, feeling at home within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. Regardless of if we're at home or out in public.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think the message that's coming, getting very clear as we end 2025 is that I want to have spaciousness in my schedule. I'm so booked and so scheduled that I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to just have some time to breathe a little bit. Yeah. So I want to let go of putting so much on my plate in many areas, not just
Mm-hmm.
too much food, too much meetings, too much whatever. Yeah.
That's hilarious, Penny, because I am the opposite. I have created so much space that this year, like I'm thinking about like, I need structure, right? I have so much time. I need next year. I need part of this process is going to be structure for me, structure and discipline. Interesting.
Awesome.
Melissa, I saw you getting ready to talk, so I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. I would say for me, this year, the end of the year has been letting go of a lot. Well, the whole year has been letting go of a lot, but so this, I think, moving into the new year is just more letting go. And we've talked on this podcast recently about letting go of those old stories that we use as a crutch. Mm-hmm. And so mine is going to continue into the new year of letting those go, like allowing something new in my life, a new perspective other than the old story. And I really totally identified with those triggers, the triggers either moving me into those old stories or choosing something more loving and new. So that first part that you said to me, I was kind of smirking because I was like, oh my God, I think she read that for me. So I love that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and Melissa, you have let go of so much in 2025. I am really excited to see what comes in for 2026.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. Maybe I'll join you because for me, what's coming up is letting go of all the weight of this home, just material things, tangible things. Just, you know, I think I have, the freedom that Penny was talking about in her schedule. You all know that I've been working on that for a couple of years now. So I feel really good about that. But I feel the weight of my life and this home and my lifestyle in general. And I feel like this year should be about me letting go of just letting go, and not feeling like those things define me, you know. And what resonated with me also was the groundedness, remembering to stay grounded, because I can already feel some things pressing against me, that's coming up in the new year. And I have already started to say to myself, oh my God, let me figure out what I'm going to have to do to stay grounded this year. And so thank you so much, Lorri, for reminding us of that. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to put in place, to stay grounded, to remind myself to stay grounded. Usually that involves journaling for me, um, and maybe some forgiveness letters, because I do also think I have a few stories that keep creeping back up as well, that I use as crutch. So
I think triggers can be your reminders.
yeah, that is true. Definitely.
You
Wow. This is good stuff.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Keep going, Lorri. What else do you got for us?
We want a clean house.
Well, what I wanted to share is I do have a 4-card reading that you can do for yourself
Mhm.
that hits on everything we've been talking about. I just recently taught a workshop, and I sent the PDF to you ladies, and I'm also happy to send it if anyone wants to reach out to me. And it's called the Gateway Spread, because right now we are going into the new year. So it's for the first month, for the month of January, this is perfect. We're stepping. So remember how I talked about how in the major arcana, the first card is the Fool, which is 0, and the last card is the World. So this is based on that, because we're ending 2025 and going into 2026. We're wrapping up with the World, and we're about to step into the Fool's energy again, which also for 2026 is the Fool's energy. So it actually magnifies it. But this is a typical year, what we can do at the end of the year. So the first card down, you pick out 4 cards. And the first card down tells you a story of what you've accomplished or completed. And just you can journal around that. And then the second card down will tell you a story of what lesson or wisdom you're carrying with you. And then the third card is what you're being asked to release before you step forward. And then what I love about the fourth card is what small step are you being asked to take now? Not what's your big plan, but what one small step are you getting by looking at this card? Because it doesn't have to be, here's my year-long plan. It's just the gateway spread to get you to step into the new year. And that's why I like this one. So I find it very helpful.
Will you tell us about when a card comes up upside down?
Yeah. Everyone has a different belief about upside down cards. I just believe what that means is the energy in that card's a little blocked. So if you see the card, and I'm holding up the card, the Justice card upright, which is the woman holding the scales. This is all about balance. So working on your intellectual balance, working on your emotional balance, working on your spiritual balance. Like it's going well. If it were reversed, the question that might come up is where am I feeling blocked? Am I feeling blocked emotionally in my am I feeling blocked in my balance with emotions, with what I'm thinking, or with what I'm feeling. So feel, think, all of that. So it's just, you ask yourself, you get curious about what I do is I get curious about the reversal. Like, oh, what is being blocked from me? Yeah.
And
Do we have
Lorri,
time for one more reading? Sorry, Amanda.
No, go ahead, Melissa. Go ahead.
I just asked if we have time for one more.
I could do that. Yeah, I can do.
Amanda?
Yeah, I was just gonna. Perfect. I was just gonna ask how people can get a hold of her, but she can answer that after we do the next. One more layout.
Okay, I have a fun suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay. Lorri, think of a number between 1 and 4 and hold it in your mind.
Uh-huh.
Penny, you choose a number.
Okay.
Say it out loud.
1.
Amanda?
4.
What's your number? Okay.
4.
Drusilla?
3.
And what's mine? 2 then?
2.
My last.
Here
Okay.
too.
Okay, now Lorri, whichever number it was, do one of those quick readings, the 4 cards that you just did.
For that person?
Yeah. Who had your number?
Drusilla.
All right.
I picked 3. Yeah.
Okay.
So
would
I'll
you
do
want
that.
it, Drusilla?
I'll do the 4. Would you like a 4-card reading for that?
Yes.
Or
Ooh,
would you
fun.
like to ask me a specific question about 2026?
Oh, gosh. That's a good one. I would like to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Well, you've kind of already answered what to look out for.
But you specifically, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
this
wanna
will
say,
be
like,
for you specifically.
career-wise, what should I look out for as major obstacles? Is that too general?
For career, I wouldn't use the word should, first of all.
Okay.
But I would just say, yes, that's a good question. We can look at what obstacles to be aware of in your career. Is that what you're asking me? Okay. Let's see what the cards have to say. For Drusilla, with obstacles with her career. Do you want the obstacles or do you want your approach? What your approach could be to the obstacles?
I'll take the approach.
I just heard that in my head. That's why I figured I'd ask you. Okay. So with your career, the approach that's being suggested for you for 2026 is lean into what you're inspired by. There's a male that you connect really well with in what you do. Like the two of you can create something really, really amazing together. So it's saying he is a big influence. The two of you could work really well together. And you both have that fire. So it's saying that's what's coming through. It's saying be patient though. Like little by little over the next 7 months, it feels like you're going to take little baby steps for the next 7 months to get it all in alignment. And to also get it to, it's going to be like the two of you are birthing a baby or a child together with this project that you're working on. And it does feel as though it's going to share a lot of love. There's like a big message of love coming from this. And
She's
it's
laughing.
Y'all are gonna freak out in a minute after she finishes.
but you will have the support to go global with it. So don't just think limitedly. But during this, you're going to have to really, because this came up as the final card, you're going to have to really stay grounded and be at home in who you are. Like claim it, be at home in it, and understand that along the way, there are going to be people that do not appreciate the message you're sharing. Just know that. But don't let it throw you off balance because it is overall important globally for the message of love.
Oh my God. I want to cry.
Oh.
Okay, so I am working with a gentleman that you spoke about.
Mhm.
He was my director of photography on my last film. He and I have come together to create a Bring Love Back tour. Can
Yay.
you believe it?
I can.
Oh my
My
God.
God. Oh my God. Yes. And it's going to be a live dating show. And it's going to be a variety show and a dating show and matchmaking people and getting people all in the same room. Totally everything you said, Lori. I mean, and we've got like our first one scheduled for Valentine's Day of this year.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
and I haven't talked about it yet, but like that's exactly what we're working on. And I just like I hadn't even told the ladies, Lori, so they knew nothing about it. Like,
That
oh,
is
oh my
amazing.
God. Oh my God.
Yep.
I kind of already felt a little bit of it when you started talking about the world shifting and coming out and coming together more. And I thought, okay, that's confirmation. That's confirmation. Oh my God, but you literally just told the whole story just now.
I
Amazing.
love it.
Amazing. Yes. And so we didn't think global yet. We just thought about the states. So we are lining up the states. But thank you for telling us we can go global. So it's that in the plans. But amazing.
Wow.
And
Thank you.
also, I feel like I was meant to tell you all of this because you may hit a bump where you think, what are we doing? And remember this reading. Remember this
Yes.
reading and ground yourself and keep moving forward with it because they were all really good cards.
Mm.
So,
Amazing.
Lori, if somebody listening to this wanted one of those readings for themselves, how do people get in touch with you?
Through my website, which is readingswithlorri.com, which is just readings, like you're reading a book, but plural, readings with and Lorri, LORRI.com. And they can see all the different offerings I have. I do actually offer a year ahead reading, which is a whole hour. And we go through a whole list and it's listed on my website, everything we hit on in that reading. Plus, it's very structured. My other readings are a little more freeform. This one's very structured so that they get all the information. And I actually have a PDF for people to take notes if they're interested in doing that. I can send that to them ahead of time. So it's a lot of fun. Or yeah, that's the best way to get hold of me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy peasy.
I just I have the intuition that you're going to be very busy coming up soon.
I love what I get to do. I just love
Yeah.
it. And I feel grateful that I get to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Awesome.
Amazing work.
yeah. Thank you so much, ladies. So much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for asking me. And anyone can get a hold of me through my website for the free PDF for that reading. I'm happy to send it. Or if you attach it somewhere and people want to grab it from you, like that is a fun reading. You can even send me a little message. I would love to hear from people what they get from the reading.
Oh,
That'd be fun. And I've started offering once a month. I'm doing online tarot guided workshops that are like for 75 minutes to 90 minutes long for only $17. So it's a real good price. I just want to bring community together and I try to limit it to 12 people or under because I really want that feeling of being able to give attention. So there's information about that on my website. And I will be putting up news of the one I'm going to be offering in January, which is going to be playing with the energies of the Fool and the Magician that I just talked about.
Cool.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you, Lori, so much for sharing your gifts and helping us to see the year ahead through the lens of clarity and compassion. And I have a few Post-its, you guys. There was so much that came out of this. I mean, I love the very first thing that you said is the tarot helps us to optimize our story for healing and growth.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was so, and it was evident in everything that you shared with us, and that it does truly plant the seeds of love, that it's just so beautiful. And then you also said that 2026, let's take the leap with faith, is what you're being guided to share with us. And then, of course, the themes, I wrote down the themes, be the wind beneath someone's wings, feel completely grounded within who I am, and be honest about what no longer serves. And then our major blockage is to how we are individually responding to those emotional triggers. Are we going to do it from fear, or are we going to do it from love? And so I'm going to choose love. I don't know about the rest of you.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah. So to our listeners, we'd love to hear what resonated with you. Did a particular card speak to something stirring in your life? Come share it with us on Instagram or in the comments for this episode. We would love to hear. And of course, Lorri would love to hear through her website too, how everything has been resonating with you. So remember, the cards don't hold the answers. You do. These tools just help us come back to the wisdom that's already within us. And so here's to a year of deep connection, soulful truth, and courageous joy. And remember, your transformation is our greatest joy. And with that, I heard somebody was wanting to say something. Did you want to say something, Lorri?
I was just going to say, if someone comments on your Instagram, let me know too, and I'll keep an eye on it too. And I'm happy to give a response as well if somebody's looking for clarity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Lorri, you are such a gem. I'm so happy to know you. We all are. And yep, I'm going to be signing up for another reading. It's been a while since I've had one from you. So, okay.
Thank you. Bye,
Rest of
Care,
the
everyone.
year.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oops. Hang on.